So welcome back, guys. As you can see, I have already placed my pattern paper, and as usual, the pattern paper, you just place a pattern paper that accommodates your body measurements with some allowance. So I am trying to get my shoulder line now. So this will serve as our shoulder line, and I'll be taking all our measurements from this line. So from this line, from the shoulder line, I'll mark my bust point, which is 10 inches, my under bust 13, and my waist, which is 16 inches. That is my half length. And I'll repeat the same thing on the other side and rule a line. So just go ahead and place your own body measurements the way I did mine, guys. So after doing this, I'll just go ahead and label it. This is my bust line, this is my under bust line, and this is my waistline. Now we'll go ahead and draft our bodies. So I'll be taking 3 inches for my neck width, though this is not necessary, we will not even be needing this part. And for the neck depth, I also took 3 inches just to get a neckline, and I'll just connect a neckline like so. And then from there, I'll take my shoulder measurement, which is 14 divided by 2, that's 7 inches, and I went ahead to place 7 inches, and I came down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, and I'll connect that to my neck width. And then before I rule a line, I'll go ahead and measure my armhole, so which is 7 inches. So I use 7 inches. So you measure your own armhole as well. I have the formula of how to get your armhole. After that, you just go ahead and connect the lines together like this, and then that's our chest line. So now we'll measure what we have here. So I have 7 inches. So you divide what you have by 2. So that will be 3.5 inches. And I'll just mark that, and I'll go in by ½ inch on that spot there. So go ahead and repeat the same thing for yours, and I'll go ahead and input my bust measurement on my chest line. But before then, I'll go ahead and connect my armhole line. But you put your bust measurement before connecting it, so which is 9 inches, that's my bust line. So I will go ahead and connect those dots together using my curve rule. You can use your free hand to do this, and this is what it looks like. So after that, next thing I'll do now is to impute my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 3.5 inches. So I place that on my bust line, the under bust, and on my waistline, and I'll go ahead and rule a straight line. And then I'll come down to my waistline, and I'll take ½ inches on both sides. So just go ahead and take ½ inches on both sides and connect it like this. And this is what we have. So after doing this now, the next thing we'll do now is to go ahead and create our corset. So I said corset, sorry, our bustier. So now I'll use a black marker for that. So the next thing we'll do now is we'll measure what we have on our bust line and on our under bust line. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Measure what you have from your bust line to under bust, and in my own case, you can see that it's 3 inches. So these 3 inches now, we'll take it round the way we normally do when drafting a corset, but this is not a corset. So just take it round. This is another way of drafting a bustier. So just go for the one that you feel more comfortable with. So just go ahead and take it round. Make sure that ensure that your tape is at the tip of that bust point. You can see how I am doing mine. So just go ahead and do yours the same way. So you can see what we have after I was done doing that. This is what it looks like. So on this under bust line, I'll take half inches on both sides regardless of what we have there already. So you just place your tape like so, and you take half inches on both sides. And then you connect it down to your waistline like so. So this is what it looks like. I hope you understand, guys. Please, if you don't understand, leave your questions in the comment section. So the next thing we'll do now is we'll come to our shoulder line. You measure what you have on your shoulder line as you see me doing, and then you divide that by 2. Then you connect it to your bust line. So I'll divide what I have by 2. I have 4 inches here. Dividing that by 2 is 2 inches. And I'll just go ahead and connect it out to my bust line like this, and it will look like this. And then next thing we'll do is on our bust line, you come down by 1 inches. Do not forget that to get rid of that pointiness. So after doing that, you just go ahead and connect this. You can use your curve rule, you can use your ruler. So just go ahead and just connect it. So this is what we have. And then I'll measure what I have in between there, and in my own case I got 1.5 inches. So go ahead and measure yours the way you saw me did, and then I'll place it on top of this circle we just drew now. So go ahead and place it. So I'll be placing 1 inches towards the armhole area, and then half inches towards the center front like this. So you can see the 1 inch is towards the armhole area, and the half inch is towards the center front. So go ahead and repeat the same thing, and I'll go ahead and connect this with my ruler. So just go ahead and connect it like so. Then after doing that, the next thing we'll do is to take 1/4 of an inch on both sides to get rid of bulginess at that area. So just go ahead and repeat the same thing. Take 1/4 of an inch, and then use your ruler to connect it. So this is what we have. So we'll get rid of these ones. We do not need that one anymore. So we'll be making use of the new one. So the next thing we'll do is to connect this connect that part together like this. And here, this is what we have. So the next thing we'll do now is on our chest line, I'll be coming down by half an inch. This depends on how much cleavage you want to show, because this one, I want to make a sweetheart neckline. So I'll be coming down by half inch to get my sweetheart neckline, but you can come down as low as 1 inches, 2 inches, if depending on what you want. If you want a sweetheart neckline, so for me, I want a sweetheart neckline, so I came down by half inch, and I went in by half inch as well. So you can see I went in by ½ inch, and I'll just connect that tiny line like this, and this is what it looks like. So after doing that, now I'll go ahead and create my cup. So I'll just connect this dot to this one. So you connect the one that the new ¼ inch, please, not the one we cancelled. So I adjusted this when I was cutting it out, guys, so please do not make the same mistake I made. So just connect the ¼ inch. The new ¼ inch, that is one you'll be connecting to that point there. When I was cutting it out, I adjusted it, so I don't want you to make the same mistake because you might not be able to adjust yours. So the next thing is to create the other side. So what I'll do is to measure what I have on my armhole, that area there, and in my own case I got 1.5, and I'll look for the midpoint of that 1.5. So you measure what you have as well. Yours might not be the same as mine. Just divide it by 2 and make a dot there. So I just divided that by 2 and I make a dot there, and on that dot I'll be coming down by ½ inches. Then I'll connect it to a straight line like this. I don't want my top to get to my armhole. And then I'll connect this dot to that line, like so. You can use your free hand to do this. I'll have used my free hand though. So just go ahead and connect it. So you can see on this other part, I did not make that same mistake. So you just connect it to the one, you can see the one I connected it to, the ¼ we took. So do the same thing, guys. That is what you do. And this is what we have after I was done connecting it. So we are done basically drafting this pattern. So we'll go ahead and place our body measurements. So for the waistline, rather for the bust line, I have already placed my bust measurement there. So I'll just place my waist measurement as well. This is my waist measurement, and I'll just connect it to the bust line the way you see me doing. And after doing that, I'll go ahead and replace the dots that I took here. So you can see that this line would not need it anymore. So your measurement should stop at that black marker, guys. It should not get to your chest line, the red marker. I hope you understand. So I'll replace my dots. That is the dots that we took there. Replace it, including my stitching allowance, and I took 1.5-inch stitching allowance, and I came back to my chest line to place my stitching allowance after replacing my dots, and I'll go ahead and connect it together. And this is what it looks like. So guys, I am done drafting. I just want to make a little bit of adjustments, and yeah, this is it. So we'll be cutting this part out, and I'll just go ahead and cut this out now. Please watch how I am going to cut this out closely so you won't make mistake. So you can see that I stopped at that black marker. So that is where you stop, guys. So now I'll go ahead and cut out this part. So watch the way I am cutting it out. So I'm cutting out the ¼ inch we took, you can see, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other side as well. So you see, I'll cut out the 1/4 inch we took. So remember I told you I made mistake and I have adjusted the mistake. So I hope you saw what I did. So this is what it looks like after I was done cutting. Now we'll cut out the back. So for the back, I have placed a new pattern paper. I don't want to start drafting another bodies. So what I'll do basically is to place my front pattern like this, closing up the dart. So just go ahead and close up the dart and then place it in a way that it will not move. So trace it out. So I'll trace out the side. This is just a simple way of cutting out your back bodies. I usually do this shortcut, but if you are not good at this, please draft your back bodies. So you can see I traced that other part out, and that will be my zip allowance. So I might be cutting out from it. I might be cutting out the zip allowance later because I'm making use of a loop. So after doing that, I just went ahead to remove the front piece and I'll connect the lines together. So this is what we have. So the next thing I'll do now is to create my back neckline. So from that zipper area, I came down by 1.5 inches. So that's how low I want the back to be, and I'll try to connect it to that other part. So this depends on how you want your back to be. I want it to be a little bit curved. That's why you can see me bending my curve rule, but you can make it straight. It just depends on what you want. So just go ahead and connect it the way I am doing mine. So you can see what we have. So we do not need this top part anymore. So this will be our new line. And next thing I'll do is to, from that zipper point line, I'll be taking my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5 inches, sorry, and I'll take 1/2 inches on both sides and I'll connect it to the top part of this back pattern. And this is what it looks like. So we are done drafting our back bodies. I'll just go ahead and cut this out as well. So this is what we have, and I'll go ahead and divide my dart into 2. And we are done for the back bodies, and this is what it looks like. So next thing I'll do is to use this to cut out on my fabric. I'll use both the front piece and the back piece to cut it out on my fabric, and I'll add allowances on my fabric and I'll show you that. So this is the fabric, and you can see the way I added allowances. So I added a stitching allowance at the bottom part of this top. I might be cutting out from it later, but I added allowances, and I added allowances to the dart area, 1/2 inch seam allowance, as you can see, because I did not add it when I was drafting on our pattern paper. So go ahead and add your allowance as well. Thank you so much for watching the channel today. Please tell me what you think about it in the comment section, and please hit the subscribe button. Till I see you in my next video, that is the making of the top. Thanks and bye.